Hello, and welcome to this interview as part of our AeroTime week dedicated to cabin crew. My name is Michael Jonga, and I'm delighted to be here to interview a number of flight attendants during this week when we mark International Flight Attendants Day. Today, we have the opportunity to speak to Dace Strapumane, who is a recruitment specialist and member of the cabin crew at SmartLynx Airlines. Dace started her aviation career in 2008 as a cabin crew member for the Latvian national carrier Air Baltic, and in 2013 she transitioned to a role in the cabin crew for SmartLynx Airlines, where she quickly adopted roles in coaching and mentoring. After 2 years of flying, she transitioned to a role as a senior training specialist, playing a large part in SmartLynx Airlines recruitment processes. And passionate about recruitment, training, and coaching, Dace played a significant role in implementing the airline's service standards manual. And in 2015, she presented SmartLynx Airlines in the In-Flight Salesperson of the Year competition held in the United Kingdom. And she went on to win an award in the Emotionally Intelligent Teamwork category. Today, her journey has led her to the human resources, where she is a recruitment specialist for SmartLynx Airlines. Dace, thank you for joining us here at AeroTime.
Thank you, Michael, for inviting me. I'm happy to do this interview with you.
It's really a pleasure to have you here, to talk about your journey as a cabin crew member and now HR specialist as well. But we're going to go right to the beginning. There's always a unique story, behind people's introduction to aviation or their exposure to aviation. And I just like to ask you that what was the thing that brought you to join the industry? What inspired you to be a cabin crew member?
Well, actually, I ended up in aviation purely by accident. After finishing my studies, I studied fashion design. I took a gap year, I went to live abroad, lived in sunny Cyprus. And when I came back to Latvia, I felt that the one thing I was missing was this international, multicultural environment. And at that time, our national carrier Air Baltic were recruiting for cabin crews, and I decided to try my luck. And I'm still in aviation. It's even shocking for me, actually. That's been such a long journey for me.
But was there someone maybe who inspired you, who maybe gave you that little push to say, Dace, take it on?
Absolutely no. Even before, I had flown as a passenger like 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I had no idea, nobody I knew from aviation except my friend who also joined at that time Air Baltic, and I just went with it, and I'm super happy I did it.
I'm going to try and touch maybe on your childhood. Maybe were there any childhood experiences where, maybe you were dreaming about, flying an airplane or, being up there?
Absolutely no. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
And now looking into your career as a flight attendant back in 2013, it seems right off the mark when you joined the cabin crew of SmartLynx Airlines specifically, that you were involved in coaching and mentoring. I mean, was that the plan all along, or did it come naturally to you?
It came quite naturally. Actually, I started as a cabin crew. Quite organically, obviously. The next step was to become a senior cabin crew member. And as a senior cabin crew member, you are the one person, you are the one who is leading by example, the one who your teammates, your other crew members can approach for any advice. And I always liked looking after our newcomers, helping them, assisting them. So that came quite naturally. And later on, I had the opportunity, as you mentioned, to join this In-Flight Sales Person of the Year competition, and it got very inspired. I got very inspired by that, and that's where we decided to implement service manual, which we never had before, because I started in SmartLynx when we were really small group of cabin crews, and we started to grow eventually, and we needed some guidelines for our newcomers. And implementing this manual was a really big achievement, and it helped our crew members to deliver exceptional service on board, and also I designed my own service training. Yeah, so just purely I was given complete freedom, to design it, and it was really amazing, and people loved it. And for me, the biggest achievement was to see the crew members really working according to it, and delivering the best service they can on board aircraft.
It really sounds, I can feel the passion that you have for recruitment and for mentoring as well, training and coaching. And I just want to, I can't help but wonder that were there previous experiences in your life that really built up that foundation that you have for in your passion for recruitment and training?
Yes, as a senior cabin crew member, I had the opportunity to observe what kind of newcomers are coming to our company. Yeah, so I always was thinking, why exactly this person was selected, and to trying to understand that. And I was given also opportunity to participate in recruitment process last year before the pandemic hit, and I think that was really the moment when I understood that I'm really passionate about the recruitment. During the interview process, you're like getting to know the people and asking them the questions, the motivation, and also you are getting inspired by them. And that was quite a natural step for me, exactly this recruitment field.
Just diverting from the recruitment side of your career, you were also a conflict manager between passengers and the cabin crew. And in today's environment, where there is so much rising tension between flight attendants and cabin crew and passengers, so many incidents being reported, an alarming amount of incidents, I think it's key to highlight that environment and really get a perspective of that. And at 36,000 feet, how did you navigate those conflict environments?
Michael, I think one of the most essential skills the cabin crew has to have is situational awareness. And, actually, I cannot recall really crazy story or incident I had with the passengers on board, because you have to pay attention when they board aircraft. That's the moment when you really need to have a perfect judgment skill, of if you see person who is already aggressive, passenger aggressive during the boarding, or intoxicated, or already creating some kind of troubles, you kind of need to make decision to let this person on board or no. So, and that's the next step is cooperation with the pilots, to decide what to do, because if things are escalating on the ground, then why let to escalate it in the air? Like, it's better always to offload such a persons who are like disturbing other passengers or crew members, and just to avoid this incidents in the air, because once you're up, there's no place to go. And it's like other passengers are involved, and the priority is the safety of the crew and other passengers. So I think you need to really judge and see and notice those little details during the boarding.
Talking about that situational awareness and really noticing those details, is that something that cabin crew members and flight attendants get in training, or is it something that they build over experience? I mean, is it something that you focus on as well when you're coaching people?
Yes, definitely. But firstly, of course, you have to monitor who could be your potential assistant during emergency situation. So if you see huge guys, maybe firemen, policemen, or even doctors. You have to remember those passengers, because they can help you during either emergency situation or some medical case. So and that's why I also monitor for passengers who can create trouble on board. So, and then you just upload them and continue your journey nice and smooth.
That's really nice. And I want to touch on a unique aspect of your career, which I think very few people in the world could actually talk about, because you have, the experience of, both worlds, being in the sky and in the office. And I'm referring to your transition from the cabin to HR. And that's a very unique experience. What's in the story behind that? Is part of the training and coaching involved in that?
Actually, this transition is thanks to the situation in the world. What happened. as a cabin crew, I believe one of our strongest skills is adaptability and flexibility and, crisis management. So once everything stopped, I was not panicking. I was just thinking, what's my next step? And as I said before, I took part in recruitment process, and I got the idea that this is something I would like to continue. Yeah. However, I didn't get jobs straight away in SmartLynx as a recruitment specialist. Yeah. I started as a technical recruiter in an agency. Yeah. So completely different field, completely something new. But I really use this time to learn new skills and proceed my career in another direction. And I actually applied for another position in SmartLynx Airlines internally, not recruitment. But it's a long story, and yeah, here I am now, and I'm super grateful, and I love it.
Mhm. I want to just touch on that again. You said you love it, this change, being able to adapt. What have you enjoyed about that, especially with what's been going on? And we're going to touch on COVID, but what have you enjoyed most about adapting?
I mean, like, you need to understand you cannot fly forever anyways. The traveling, it's so easy and so nice, and flying is absolutely amazing. Yeah, but at one point you kind of forget that someday you have to stop to fly, right? You cannot fly forever as a crew member. So yeah, that's the situation. Like when I decided to proceed my career in recruitment.
And just now, trying to touch on the events that have taken place in 2020 and ongoing right now, there's really no doubt that COVID has impacted a lot of industries, and aviation in particular, which really took a hit in 2020. How has COVID affected your professional and personal life?
Well, professional life, obviously positively. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because of, I think, my strategy and my way of approaching this situation. But personally, actually, it was a crazy year, but still, during COVID, I had the experience of having some interesting flights, reputation flights. We did a lot of them, and that was also a unique experience. But overall, I'm not the person who's gonna, sit and wait for better times. I'm gonna take action myself.
Let's touch on those unique experiences. Could you maybe describe one to us while you were 36,000?
Well, this flying during this pandemic times, it was crazy. You had to wear the full protective suit. Like, I would never ever imagine that my beautiful uniform I would change to something like that and completely cover myself from head to toe, with the gloves and mask and everything, and still trying to approach passengers in a nice way and try to smile with your eyes, and make this journey comfortable. Yeah, so that was unique experience.
I wanna really touch on this deep reservoir of training and recruitment experience, which you're obviously very passionate about. Is there a legacy that you're trying to leave behind in that?
Oh, that's a really huge question, actually. Legacy, it's something you build over time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a cabin crew, as an instructor, as being part of implementing the service standards manual, I think this manual, this guideline for our cabin crews, that's something I'm extremely proud of, and I hope it still helps my colleagues, to deliver best service and find the information necessary for them to be the best versions of themselves in the aircraft. But as in part of recruitment, I have just started. Yeah, it's very important role, as you are the one who is very responsible to select, to hire specialists for a company who could bring this energy and new ideas, to achieve our highest business goals. It's a very important position to be in, so we'll see.
Let's actually talk about your this recruitment process. What are some of the tips, okay, that you point out to people, or you recognize that, okay, this person is the right one for the job, or this person is not the right person for the job? What's that process like for you?
I really appreciate people showing up actually, yeah, for interview, preparing themselves, preparing the environment they are in, the camera, the everything, because now everything is remotely. Yeah, of course, technical challenges and problems can sometimes come up, but yeah, just the preparation. Yeah, and to be clear, why you're applying for the position, because that's like the first questions I'm going to ask you, like, what's your motivation, why SmartLynx? So research the company you're applying to, yeah, research the role, maybe check the hiring manager on LinkedIn, see what he's or she's been up to, yeah. So to really get the next step for the selection process.
And what are your plans for the near future or for the latter future?
To be a even better specialist than I am now. I'm all about learning new things, new skills, and being the best version I can be and best specialist I can be in my field. And maybe one day, I don't know, to maybe own my own recruitment agency, or we'll see.
At any point, and I know you touched on this much earlier, but at any point, are you planning on returning back to the skies?
I still have my certificate valid, and I would say that sometimes I would be happy, yeah, to fly, but not too often, because now my goal is really being in HR and being part of recruitment processes in our company. So at the moment, no. But sometimes, if they will ask for me to fly, I will be happy to do that.
Now I'm going to ask you a very unfair question. Well, not really unfair, but slightly. What have been some of your most memorable moments in the cabin and in HR as well?
In the cabin, like, my flight's been quite nice and smooth. I had some crazy turbulences. Yeah, some things are flying around. Bird strikes, like having AOG on ground, like with in the middle of nowhere, when the passengers are angry, and like, why are we not flying and what's happening? And, the ability to turn the situation in a positive way, that later on all the passengers are, having fun, they are sharing cookies and everything, because we are in the middle of nowhere, stuck somewhere, yeah, and just creating nice atmosphere. Like, such a situations were super nice. But I mean, like, this experience flying in pandemic, going to airport when it's curfew hour, when nobody is allowed to be on street, and you're driving to airport to fly somewhere. Yeah, the experience of being in Mumbai airport, which is the biggest airport in the world, when usually it's millions of people, and it's only you and your crew members there, yeah, and few security people, and that's it. Very surreal experience, I would say. Like, that's historical, actually,
And how about the memorable moments in HR?
In HR, well, I just have started, actually, yeah. So the most memorable is actually that the SmartLynx gave me this opportunity. They trusted me, yeah, and gave me this opportunity to be part of their HR team. And I have amazing colleagues in HR, and they're helping me a lot, and they're inspiration of mine.
Well, that's it. That's a really, really pleasant story, really unique story as well. And I just want to say thank you for joining AeroTime today and sharing your unique story with us. It's been great speaking to you, and I know that many viewers watching will find this interview very uplifting and very calm and warm. And that brings us to the end of this AeroTime interview. But stay tuned for more exclusive content throughout this special week celebrating the life and work of flight attendants across the world. Thank you for joining us. My name is Michael Jonga, and you've been watching AeroTime.